Oh, hello, my dear friends. New month, fresh start with Morpheus delivering a little bit of the red pill, showing you that trading in binary options is something that's lucrative, it's something that's possible, something that's stable, as long as you kind of follow within the rules established by the system. So we don't need, ideal statistics. We don't need money every single day to be in profit overall, to be in profit at the end of the month. Chats are open. There's my boy Henry. I'm pretty sure Donald is also going to be catching up with us. There he is. There he is. Donald's in the house as well. Chats are open if you guys want to talk about independent kind of money making opportunity, no matter where you are, whether you're on the beach or in the mountains. As long as you have good internet, you're able to make money from the moon. And this is something that we discuss on, if you guys take a look at previous months' statistics, or sorry, videos, not stats, you will see actually the statistic that you and I have not lost money, not single time when we did macro statistics, right? We did the macro events. So when United States releases the NFP this Thursday, not Friday. Usually it's every first Friday of the month, but because of July 4th is going to be happening this Friday, they're going to be releasing the statistic a day sooner. So we got ADP NFP tomorrow, and you and I are going to touch base on this. And we're also going to take a look, obviously take advantage of the most popular massive macro statistic out there, the NFP, and this is going to happen this Thursday. So, yeah, as a matter of fact, let me kind of take a look for this schedule for this week. We don't really have a lot of that's going on. Actually, this month is actually, for the entire month, it's a little bit, um, I don't know, lackluster. There's not a lot of things. We are going to take advantage of the PMIs again on certain interest rate decisions. We're going to keep an eye out on the speeches that are going to be made by some people. But as I mentioned, if you take a look through all of the videos, and by the way, all of the videos, all of the streams that I do, they're live. If you click on pocket option link below, you will see the same graph, the same time, the same graph. I'm in GMT plus 3 times, so just be aware of that. There is time difference if you're going to take a look at these videos from India or from America, from across the world, right? So, having said that, this is live, and I'm willing to kind of answer any kind of questions that you might have. So please, if you come across this stream, say hello, ask a question. I don't know, you can ask me any question, really. What's my favorite car? I don't know, who's the prettiest girl that I know? I'll answer all of that. Anyways, so let's kind of take a look. Wait a second. Let's say, as I mentioned, we kind of take a look at the schedule. All right, so today we're going to talk about one of the also very, very popular indicator, MACD, moving average convergence divergence. That's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to do a little bit of trading with that in mind. It's not my favorite indicator, but you know what? Once again, everybody, there's, I don't know, kind of proof is in the pudding. Lots of people are using MACD. Lots of people prefer this, so that's, it's also a good thing. As I mentioned, yeah, tomorrow we got a ADP NFP, and Thursday we're going to have the actual non-farm. Usually we're expecting like 40, 50 pip movement. We're going to do pending trades. Well, on Friday, we're going to actually take advantage and take a look at OSMA, another indicator here on Pocket Option. All right, so let's take a look at the browser. All right, and all right, so let's kind of just go with this. What we need to do, okay, now here's the thing. MACD, it's moving average convergence divergence. This is something that, as I mentioned, I don't really use very often, but there is a MACD line, there is a signal line, right? So we essentially have the histogram. You can go into the settings over here. MACD is the green one over here, and essentially the signal line is red. So in very general terms, as I mentioned, these videos are mostly for, or these streams are very, in general, because the details are maybe a bit boring for the stream for somebody to click. They'd be like, they hear Professor X over here with, no hair. They're like, yeah, screw this, I'm going to move on. So we're going to keep it very, very basic, all right? So signals that come from the MACD line, moving average, convergence, divergence. By the way, let's come back to the fact that moving averages, there's SMA, simple moving average, which gives kind of the weight to all of the data that's inclusive, right? So when we go over here, we take a look at moving average, right? And then we go in the settings, we can actually choose whether it's going to be simple moving average, weighted moving average, exponential moving average, and so on. And the period of the candles that we want to choose, right? So in this case, 10 candles. So 10 minutes worth of data is calculated to present this line. And, with a moving average, essentially it says that if it's under the moving average right here, right, then essentially it should be going down. If it's above, then obviously it should be going up. All right, let's see if we can find, there we go. So if it's, crosses, then that's your signal to sell. And yeah, as you can see, there's that. Once it's above, then we understand that there should be, some candles following upwards. So this is, obviously when it saws the line like this, it's not really, always a good thing. But what we also can do is create a different time period, right? For example, we also got 20 SMA, but this one, let's make it red, right? There we go. So when we save, there we go. We got this kind of like additional, data. When they're both simple moving averages, once again, they give equal amount of, I don't want to say like focus, or I guess equal equal relevance to all of the data that was used. The exponential moving average gives a little bit more towards what we've just gone through. So the latest data, the quotes, the ask and bid prices that compile these candles, it gives more weight to the most recent ones. So when they calculate this, when they cross the different time periods, it also kind of gives us a signal. So look, we got like a crossing over here with a moving average of 10, right? We got a green one, and another moving average of red. We got, that's a 20 period. Usually, actually, with something that compiles the indicator like alligator, we'll go through this a little bit more, in greater detail this month. But if we take another moving average, and this one though will make it a 50. It actually is going to start looking like, I don't know, I usually make this one purple. There we go. So we got actually kind of like this interesting thing. So we got a crossover over here, but both of these lines, the 10 and 20, after crossing, they cross the 50. And all of them are pointing downwards. So at this kind of situation, we understand that the trend, and we always know that trend is your friend. Yeah. And trend is going to be going downwards for a while. So you are able to, I don't know, we can put it something like this as well. With fractal over here, with parabolic confirming, we can ride this train for quite some time. And if you open a 1% of your balance into first step martingale, once you kind of pinpoint this moment when there should be a relatively strong downward movement, if you ride this train and you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1% positions, well, that's it. You've just made your 6% per day, where $1,000 turns into like $7-something thousand at the end of the month if you're aiming for just 5% per day. I think it was like 6,500. Right? So doesn't really take a lot. So this is where we hunt from the highest paid, right? I kind of selected some of these here. Highest paid currency pairs. Obviously, we have here US, Euro, Dollar. It's kind of my favorites, but, it doesn't really, there we go, Euro, Dollar pays. But let's kind of take a look Euro USD OTC, there we go, it's got 92. I usually select that. But the idea actually is that, you just kind of take a whole bunch of 92% currency pairs, right? There we go. This should be enough. And we kind of go through it, one by one. By the way, yes, so I did kind of tell you that, look, there it is, right? We got the crossing of, the 10 and 20. The reason why I mentioned this is that it's kind of like a trending indicator, right? Moving averages, they kind of tell you, while it's, below, it should be going downward, right? Imagine if you caught it somewhere here. We got fractal, we got parabolic that's on top, we got the MACD kind of is, because maybe there's too many indicators here, it's got this very squished feeling, but essentially somewhere here, we might have had this kind of like crossing of the signal line and the MACD line, and it started going downwards, and this particular trend was like spectacular. Imagine, taking, starting somewhere here for sell, second step martingale, sell, second step martingale, sell, here third step martingale, you kind of, basically this was like 30 minutes worth, right? There we go, 1350, let's say 1352, and somewhere here was 13, 14, 13. Yeah, so about half an hour, right? So there we go. Half an hour worth of downward movement. After it breaks, though, there tends, we also do support and resistance levels. This is something that you and I probably cannot live without. I know I can't. But essentially we, in the previous month's videos, we've done these things as well. With you, we've tried to convey to you guys how to do that, and when it breaks through, we got a particular understanding that, what, maybe this downward trend is over, and we will continue to do with all of that. But today we're going to be focusing on MACD. The reason, once again, I've set up the different moving averages is just to kind of illustrate a point that it should be continuing. It's like a trending. So there's many ways to trade, and usually, as I mentioned, one-on-one in Telegram channel that's also posted below, you're able to touch base and we can discuss what fits you best, right? Something that maybe you would find very helpful, and whether you're trading 5 signals per hour or you're trading every single candle for 15 minutes. Right, so I prefer even, kind of that approach where we find a possible reversal point. We got this confirming with trending indicators like parabolic SAR, like MACD. If there is a reversal from shaft or demarker that we've discussed previous month, right? So all of these kind of indicators give us a certain idea if there's going to be a upward movement trend. After a downward movement, there tends to be an upward as well. So if we started somewhere here, we got a also crossing of like the zero or signal line, and the zero line with histogram over here kind of was like null, but then it started to go upwards, right? I don't think that it actually went into the red, into below the zero line, but it looks kind of shady here. So anyways, GBP, AUD, OTC, right? So we got this, upward movement here, as I mentioned, third step martingale, second step martingale, second step martingale. We don't really cross, there we go, third step martingale, second step martingale. See, if you would have ridden this trend upwards, so let's say like 1450, as I mentioned, to about, there we go, also for about half an hour, imagine, right? There's like 20% right here. I think I showed you this ridiculous statistic, in my Excel sheets, where $1,000 with 40% growth on the daily basis will turn $1,000 into over 20 million. Over 20 million is going to be on your balance, but obviously this is not something that you're probably going to get to do, just based on the fact that it takes a special kind of psychological fortitude to open the first step martingale for like $10,000, where you open for 1%, right? So if you have, I don't know, $1 million, your first position would be essentially 10K, all right? And on pocket option, you're limited to 20,000. Depending on the status that you have, like VIP Elite or something. When they start doing that, you'll get a little bit more money per trade. But anyway, so it's not that easy as somebody might think to open a position for 10K when in reality it's somebody's yearly salary in some places, right? So it is difficult. That's why we kind of run into the psychological plateau that we can't get past. All right, so MACD, as I mentioned, very, very general. I mean, the ideal signals is when we got a crossing of the zero line and the crossing of the MACD and in the signal line, right? So MACD line, signal line, and crossing of the zero line. So we got this right here, right, for a nice movement upwards. We got this, well, I would say kind of like by the skin of the teeth somewhere here as well. Right, wouldn't really know what the hell to make of this. I would say that somewhere here, right, there was a possibility also. It might have, opened a few positions with a smaller amount. Definitely nice and clear. Something like this right here is beautiful. And we got like a buy signal right here. Though, I'm not sure, right? So we got like third step martingale, but this was also like skin of the teeth, so maybe would have been even the fourth step martingale, which is today something that we are going to do together. So remember, technical analysis is about, there's different ways. So if we take a look, right, let's say that we opened the position here just for one candle, we would have been in the money. Right? If, I don't know, let's just say that you opened one here because of, I don't know, this crossing of the zero, perhaps. It's kind of stretching the truth here a little bit, but we got on this candle, we had fractal as an early signal, and we got, parabolic switched, and, so kind of like it started to go upwards. Now, by the way, yeah, so the signals to buy happen during the cross, right, when the MACD crosses the signal line. Once again, look, if we go over here, we can go in the styles, we can say the MACD is the green one, or you can set it up the way you want. The red one is the signal line, right? So green one crosses the red. Right here, we also get this, kind of the crossing of the histogram, the zero line. That's a signal to buy. All right, so if you would have bought only for one candle, right, or for 60 seconds, you would have been in the money here. Here, I don't know, let's say that you wait only for these kind of moments. Right now, 14:20 at 2:20 p.m. my time, there is a buy opportunity. It happens right here, and you know what? You would have been in the money. Right here at 15:20, right? So an hour later, pretty much, right? You open another position once again, right about here somewhere. Yes, 60 seconds later, or on the following candle, right? Depending on if you choose the flag or the timer. Yes, you would have been in the money. All right, so let's see. Maybe, so I don't know. Would this count? I don't know. I think that maybe you wouldn't have liked something like this, but let's say that you opened and you failed at this point, right? So waiting another hour, right? So there we go at a third point right here. We get it in the money. Certainly. So in a matter of like 3 hours, one here, and one here. Yeah, okay, so wait a second. If we take like good signals, right? Like this one right here, we got one. This one right here, we got two in the money. This one right here, we got three in the money. Could you have been happy with 3 $1 trades? Considering that it took like 3 hours to get these things. Obviously, you're not going to sit in front of a computer and just be looking at it, right? And, waiting. You're probably going to be busy doing something else. And, well, if you open positions for like $10 or $100, depending on your money management and your balance, maybe this is still something that's valid, right? For some people, waiting so long to open a position that could be negative as well, negative outcome, might be pressure, psychologically pressuring. So this is where we need to kind of maybe one-on-one, you and I can get together in Telegram, and with no obligations, with nothing, kind of no negative emotions, actually chat about what kind of goals you have and what kind of schedule you have, what kind of capabilities are at your disposal to take advantage of the movements, right? So anyways, let's take a look here. What do we got? Today, you and I are going to be looking at crosses of the MACD and signal line. All right, so we got like a buy signal here between the parabolic. Actually, yeah, we got like three great signals. We got fractal on this candle. We got parabolic on this candle. We got the MACD crossing the zero line and the signal line, right? So we got, the histogram crossed and so on. So what we can actually do is we can go to the, let's open one of them. Not really, let's do it for $5, and we're going to do till the end of candle, and we're going to do 4 steps martingale, right? So we've taken a look at kind of like at all of the situation. We kind of understand that usually within 4 steps, it's something that's resolved relatively well. So now I got a early signal from fractal that says that it should be going downward on this candle. We got a possible crossing, see, it's kind of like going sideways right here. If we, follow with what we've learned together, well, not learned together, but what we discussed together in the previous month, we're also going to see kind of like a upward movement right here. We got a support level that keeps going up, establishing a new highest lows. And we got a kind of like a possible resistance level over here. So, I don't know, there we go. We were in the money, but, I kind of like to see these big changes after. See, we got the bars in the histogram. There's green, red. Not really decisive, right? But when we have a kind of like a switch, right? First, like, lower, there's a crossing of the zero line after a relatively nice upward movement. Here we got a nice upward movement, so we have a multiple point contact on the support level. So I would actually say that at some point this could very well lead to a very nice drop, right? So, I would copy this, and next couple of minutes, actually, the market is going to tell us whether we have, a possible point, like I'm looking for a second point that this, if this being the high, it looks like we're going to establish the new lowest high or lower high, and at that point it's going to have a touch of the support level for the 4th time, right? We got 1, we got 2, we got 3. If it breaks on the 4th, we could expect a relatively decent, longer downward trend, downward movement. And so in the next couple of minutes, or maybe even sooner, there we go, we got a testing of this period, but not really liking the whole situation here, because we do have kind of like a bearish possible, there we go, it's possibly crossing right now, and I'm probably, going to open a next position. There we go. It's in 7, 6, 5, 4. So this is going to tell us something in a little bit. 2, 1. In the next couple of candles, it should. All right, there we go. Let's go to the next one. And we'll see. So it does look like it's testing. There we go. The fourth point. If it's going to continue to go upwards, which actually I'm looking at 1 minute candle for now, and I'm expecting that. Well, there was a correction of the price, so we've gotten kind of like a downward momentum. Now we do have an upward momentum as well, so we'll see. Soon it should be breaking out one way or another. We still got another 23 seconds, so let's go to the next one. Highly doubt it that I'm going to be buying this minute. Opening a position. Once again, if somebody joins us right now, today we're doing technical analysis. We're kind of focusing a little bit more on MACD. It's kind of going sideways here, not really something as beautiful and clear-cut, signal here. But still, we got other indicators as well. You never ever use only one indicator. And yeah, as I mentioned, there we go. So right now we do have kind of like, we could say like this. We got 1, 2, 3, and we could say that we got a fourth point contact right now, which means that, next couple of minutes we should be able to see a little bit more, get a little bit more clarity if this is going to bounce and break through. We do have a crossing of the histogram, the zero line. We do got crossing of the red. And you know what? Yeah, let's go for the next minute. And I don't know. What do you guys say? We should open or no on the sell. I think that we could, but I would prefer a better signal. All right. Anyways, let's take not really a risk here, but yeah. So we got 1 minute, right? So there we go. The expiration of my the expiration will be 1 minute and plus. So it looks like it should be crossing. There we go. We got the zero line. We got the crossing of the MACD. We got the parabolic on top. And you know what? I think I'm going to do that for a couple of candles. So we're still okay. So we're going to the next minute. And you know what? At some point, actually, some people during these kind of signals will open a lot of positions. Um, I don't usually advise that, but once again, if your statistics prove that when you're, kind of fit yourself into a good signal, maybe opening several positions is not really a bad idea. So martingale, we're going to go with a little bit more aggressive one with like a $10 multiplier of 2. But, so yeah, I do believe it should be going down, but it looks like it could be, let's open one for $10 even right here. All right, so there we go. I lost. Oh no, I did win. All right, so see there, that kind of volatility sometimes happen. I actually thought that it's going to close somewhere higher, but it did jump, under that, under my entry point. So I actually opened the $10 position, though it's not really a good thing. I should have opened another, started with the first step. So the first step for me will be $5. So we're going to the next minute, and we're actually going to open for a $20 position if in the next 20 seconds this is not going to go, lower. All right, so I usually wait for the candle to close to open the following position, just for that sake alone. That, next step for martingale and a $5 is 10. Right, so if I lose, I lose that, it's, not a big deal. I lose 5, and 10 will make it back up. But if I lose 10, the next one is 20. If I lose 20, it's 30 overall. So it kind of grows. It compounds a little bit fast. All right, so going back to $5, I still believe that it should be going down, though, yeah, so it should, all right, though now would be, a little bit late to enter a position, should have been a bit sooner. This is actually a little bit kind of like a downside of binaries, or trading on such a short time interval like 1 minute. Imagine if people are doing it even smaller. There are people like that. But you have to enter at a very, very specific kind of like, time. You have like perfect timing. Because if the candle, kind of opens a little bit, just a bit later, you actually might have missed that opportune moment to enter. So we do have a green bar now, all right, and we do have a possible possible uptrend. All right, so we kind of have something like this now, and this was broken through, so we made some money here, though we made money even on selling, even though with the green candles. So not a particular, kind of situation that I like, but maybe we can have something also like this. Understanding that it's bouncing within a particular channel, and it should be. Alright, so MACD started to go with the green bars as well. So at some point we could see an upward trend. Alright, so let's see what's going on. So the next minute, next 18 seconds actually should point out a possible direction. Alright, so let's see, 10 seconds from now, but actually I think that I might want to look for a different different asset for now. Because historically speaking, all right, let's see, we got like this really good one, you know, after a long downward trend, we got a good signal for an upward movement, though it was short-lived. All right, you know, right here after a long upward movement, we have a downward. Let's see, it went sideways here before, so down a bit sideways, then up. Right here, it went down for a good, you know, good moment, and once again, okay, up. So we're, I don't know, I want to see a long downward movement somewhere across these assets, so that we can take advantage of a retracement. Alright, so it looks like it's still going to be going down. There we go. So I don't know if this would be like a, you know, ideal, you know, entry point. That's why I want to look at maybe different assets. So, okay, we got a beautiful, all right, you know what, let's take a, no, let's take a position. Let's take a position here, maybe a little bit late. Yeah, all right. So see, we had a nice long downward movement, but we also have like a relatively decent resistance level. Let's see if we can kind of spot this here somehow. There we go. Maybe right now it's being tested and bounced back again. Right, so we got one. Let's see if we can kind of catch a few of these. All right, so we've got maybe a slightly different angle here. Alright, so we got one, we got two, we got three, we got four, you know, and essentially we got like a fifth one that bounced back. So it's okay that I'm going to lose this one. Alright, it's okay that I'm going to lose this one, but though I think that I'm still going to go for 10 and the following minute. Now I'm still going to buy. Though it did bounce away. So remember when the kind of rule from the rule of support and resistance levels, if it bounces back, chances are it's going to continue to bounce back, but if it breaks through, chances are it's going to continue to break through. Reason why I bought this is because it's been going down for quite a long time. We have kind of like a relatively decent support level right here. Oh, support level right here. And we have a upward movement right here for a couple of minutes as well. So this is just a little bit where my, I don't want to say expertise or something like that, but maybe my experience told me that it's still an upward trend. So there is, you know, after this kind of movement in the real market, there generally would be a pullback just based on the fact that, you know, however many pips this was, somebody's cashing out. And so we could go, you know, a little bit smaller for the following minute, and I still think that I would want to open higher. Yeah, but looking at the previous movement, see, we got like a nice one over here, resistance levels. It broke through for a couple of candles. Then we got on the third point, it broke through here. I don't know, it's got decent volatility. Though, you know, I would prefer something a bit longer, right? I love the, you know, 15, 20-minute trends into one direction or the other. So this is where I ride it for like 15, 20 minutes and I'm done for the day. I got my, you know, 10, 15% of, you know, in the money, and, you know what, I'm good. All right, so let's see. It looks like I'm going to lose this one, but we can go to $5 on the following one. Okay, no, I made it. All right, no, still not really something. I still do believe that it's going down for a while now, and it looks like it's, you know, should be going up for a while as well, though there might be some levels of resistance right here. You know, previous time it kind of didn't pass this level, so even if it's going to go upward, you know, might go up to somewhere here. All right, let's see. Let's look at other ones. Let's see if we got, okay, all right. Well, looks like we got a sell signal here. Alright, let's kind of open it. Oh, I opened it for a minute and 27 seconds. Alright, I usually like to open it for till the end of the candle, but nevertheless, it's still good. Alright, $5. Let's go for 10, and we'll see what else the market is showing us. Alright, I thought that there was a crossing, though maybe we kind of took it a bit too soon. Alright, so let's Delete these. Let's take a look what we got here. We still got a decent support level, though you know what? I'm beginning to see that the candles are more wick than body. Lots of indecision here from our pocket option traders. OTC, these are over-the-counter trading. This is, essentially pocket option traders. So we got, or investors. And, one, two, we kind of got a third point, bounced back. There's a fourth. Though it seems like there is a breakout and, yeah, so sell signal from here. We did take, and yeah, we made some money here even on selling, though, as I mentioned, it kind of was going sideways. All right, what do we got here for a sell? All right, we still got indecision. It looked like it was going to be crossing. You know what? I'm still going to open a sell position on this, on the next minute. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, because I'm actually thinking that after it was going down, there's an upward movement right here. And I'm actually kind of thinking that it petered out a little bit. Sorry, so MACD right here, there was a cross for an upward move. There it was, but then it started to round out and looks like it should be crossing the zero line. And it does look like it's starting to, though not really quite decisive enough. For the signal line and the MACD line. Let's see if what we got here. We got a buy opportunity here. Let's go for a buck. For $5 for a buy. All right, here. Yeah, I'm not really certain what's going on. All right, so it looked like it was about to, but we might lose this one. So Euro JPY versus Euro CHF. Here we've made money, here we lost money, yeah? Yeah, I lost $10 on this one. Alright, so wait a second. Not really clear signal from the MACD, so let's kind of stick with this for a bit. There's a crossing. There's actually beautiful crosses. Look at this, for sell right here, for buy right here. So it is a buy. I'm going to ride this train upwards a little bit more. See, not really ideal. What is the likelihood that this one is going to close higher? It's much less from this point than it was from this point. So there we go. All right, let's kind of see what we got. So this one should be in the money. What do we got here? We got a sell opportunity here. I would sell here as well. All right, kind of going across too many things at once. Don't really like doing something like this. All right, we're in the money here. We lost money here. All right, so I did lose money on CAD JPY. There we go. All right, but as I mentioned, I think that it's still worth the following minute to go downward. Again, I entered not at an ideal moment. It should have been a bit sooner. That's exactly why hopping between assets might not really be a good idea. All right, on this one, I don't know, should we open for $5? I still think that it's got potential to go higher. All right, this one for a reversal. All right, to go lower. See, there was a nice crossing here. We got our two red candles. Just like we got a nice crossing here. We got a bunch of green candles as well. So let's, yeah, but it's petering out. It's petering out. So maybe we need to go a little bit bigger. Again, CAD JPY screwed me up, right? Yeah, CAD JPY, Euro CHF, we made it, but we're kind of in the loss over here because we're losing a bit bigger positions. All right, versus not. Okay, so if we lost $5, CAD JPY, we actually lost $10 here, right? So next one is for 20. All right, so let's actually take it during the signal, right? So I'm gonna keep. All right, we're gonna take a look. So beautiful, kind of like waves. A nice buy signal right here, right? And we would have been in the money. A nice sell signal right here would have been in the money. So it does look like we've got, I don't know, like a really decent momentum kind of driven in Euro CHF OTC. So let's see, I'm going to wait a little bit until we get to, there we go. There's the first red bar. All right, and which means that we could be looking at a switch. And let's ride this one a little bit more aggressively if that happens, because I do like the overall movement of this particular asset. All right, CAD JPY, what do we got? Well, yeah, it's still going down. See, we would have made money here, but let's see, let's kind of stick with this. Again, if anybody comes across this stream right now, we're doing a bit of technical analysis, and we're giving a little bit more preference to the MACD, moving average convergence divergence. Indicator, right? Kind of still looking and trying to figure out where the market is going to go. So we could establish a few support and resistance levels. We got kind of like a second point right here. So it's been moving, right? There's an uptrend. So far, all right, fractal as an early signal. You know what? Let's take a look at let's take a look at the sell position, because I do believe that we're going to see we got a rounding out of the MACD, so it looks like it should be crossing the zero line. Right, we started with 10, a little bit more aggressive, but we're in a slight red zone. No big deal. I do have a couple of $100 set aside for this to be, during these lessons, during these live streams, when we visit other indicators and so on. I do have a couple of $100 that I can lose on a daily basis, for this particular hour worth of streaming, but that's not really, something that's going to, alter my financial status here. All right, there we go. All right, so we're going to continue to ride this downward a little bit, because bars are getting smaller. We got a rounding out over here, so I'm kind of hoping that we got a parabolic switch to the top, and at that point we're going to have, so if the OTC, if the clients of Pocket are going to push this downward a little bit, we got indicators that are going to confirm, and anybody that follows technical analysis should be starting to sell as well. So let's see, there we go. It's always in the last couple of seconds, right? So remember that I keep mentioning this, and I cannot emphasize this strong enough. It's always about probabilities, calculating what is the probability that this is going to go down. I actually think that the probability is, relatively high, though I would have expected the parabolic to be on top already. Right, so bars are getting smaller. That's why I entered already. There we go, parabolic switch. So now we got a bit, confirmation from different indicators. We got one, we got a second point contact and bounced. So now this moves down very, very strong, which kind of makes me think that it's going to come across a support level that we've got here much sooner than later. Not something that I would want, if truth be told, because I do want to, capture this moment with you guys when I ride a particular, a particular indicator for a while. 5, there we go, sell. I should have sold it a bit sooner, but I do believe that it's going to be going. There we go. We got our zero line coming up, and we got the crossing. So this would be like a very strong point of entry right now. All right, though, again, we could be experiencing just a minor pullback if this starts to go upwards right now. So a kind of a sideways channel, but we got like 1, 2. Actually, we have this, we got this double top right here, and this would have been a good sell point possibility right here. All right, we got $10 for the next position, and just in case there is a pullback. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. All right, let's open a little bit sooner. I do believe it should be going down still. Um, so we're kind of monitoring this situation right here. Can it not cross the zero line? Hell yeah, yeah. I mean, it could start going up right now. And in this case, this would have been our second point contact, very aggressive pullback, upwards. But let's just kind of wait. We're still on this support level. We're still waiting. As I mentioned, I still believe that it should be going down, so I'm actually going to go for the next third step martingale, and in 25 seconds, right? Because right now it could go up to this level, bounce away, and continue to go down with a gusto. See, it does look like, there we go, we got a green bar, so yeah, doesn't look like we're going to see a further downward movement, but I'm going to do it again, though. I'm going to still open the position for a down. Right about here, this would be my third step martingale, right? So we got 5, we got 10, it's $15. When you multiply it by 2, becomes 30, right? So now if I lose 30, the fourth step martingale, we got 5, we got 10, we got 30, so it's 45. 45 times 2 would be 90. All right, so, and at this point, I think that I would wait for the market to give me a little bit more. So if it's going to, and it looked like it was about to cross, but there we go. Pocket option clients thought differently. They said, yep, I think it's the time for it to go upwards. But we could have a third point contact right now, where if it's going to go downward, it could continue to go down even further. We could finally see that crossing. All right, so let's see what's going on. So $90 is going to be the last, fourth step martingale, last step that I would ever consider taking. All right, so it looks like we should be in the money on this one. There we go. And let's see, what do we have it? Do we have a crossing? All right, let's wait for this candle to expire to see what the market gives us. All right, we do have a sell signal, I think. All right, it would be more clearer, and you know what? Let's write this. It's okay. It would be more clearer on the following minute if it is or not. So we're taking a little bit sooner. So, but we're taking this because I've taken the position. I can afford to lose $5. And oh, we got Lucky Ben. What's up, buddy? Lucky Ben. I love the fact that you're with us, bro. Thank you so much for chipping in with a comment. It's going great. I mean, we're kind of, we're in the money. Though Euro CHF right now is kind of, I don't know, yo-yoing. It's not really doing what we're expecting, but I'm still thinking that it should be going down. So, proper martingale, we're going to be in the money at the end of the day anyway. Maybe not big. And actually right now I might be looking at 1, 2. So instead of, we'll see what the other indicators are saying. Maybe we will have a reversal coming up right now. But Ben, tell me, any kind of questions, comments, concerns. I mean, I don't know if you've watched other videos or not. Anything that we can maybe clarify and talk about this live? Trying to learn. Ben, you know what? This is not as difficult as it looks. It's really just about understanding the probabilities of what the market is showing you. So right now, I mean, actually, what we're looking at is that in the next 8 seconds, we could have a reversal of the parabolic, for example, right? We got a support level. There it is. Yeah, so it is saying that it's going to be going up. So let's go for a 20, or actually, no, not 20, $30 position, but we're going to go upwards now. So anyways, technical analysis, what we're doing today, is just study of chart. I mean, Ben, you can wake up, on Sunday morning, not even brush your teeth, I don't know, make yourself a nice cup of coffee, and just sit in front of computer and take a look at the graph, and it will tell you the higher or lower probability of something happening. Based on technical analysis, when we use indicators, they give us a little bit more information as to how likely is something to happen. Today we're looking at MACD, and as you can see, right, we got the signal line, which is the green one over here, and we got the red one, which is, I'm sorry, signal line is red, MACD line is green, and when it crosses, it's got, see, right, we got the vertical line right here. When it crosses, we got a kind of like a good signal that there's going to be a downward trend, right? Versus here, when it crossed, we got an upward trend, right? The green candles. Here we got red candles. And if we take a look back historically speaking, here we got green candles. Right here we got red candles. So historically speaking, it's not something that can guarantee an outcome. There's never such a thing as 100%. But once again, there is a higher likelihood of something happening. And I think that we're in the green today, right? Let's take a look. All right, we have in the money, in the money 3 times. Here we lost 5, but we've won on the next one 920, so we're 420 in the profit. Here, I don't know, I felt uncomfortable, so I opened one for $5 or for $2. So here we lost for 5, but we won 5. So in this case, 40 cents in the loss. Let's see. Oh, nope, not what I wanted to do. Hold on. All right, so we lost 15. We won 10, so it was like $5.40 in loss here. Lost 10, made 10. I'm still in like $6 in loss. There we go. So lost 16, and there we go. At this point, we started making money back up, right? So $20 we're back in profit by a couple of bucks, and so there we go. We lost 20. Made 27, we lost 5, we lost 10, once again, we lost 15, but won 27. So we're still in the money. We're still making, a little bit of progress. A bit on the small side. All right, what did I switch to something else? There we go. So once again, see, we got a crossing over here. The zero line, the histogram, we got other confirmation from other indicators like parabolic, but it's a good time to start selling. We got on this candle, we got a fractal coming in. And essentially, yeah, we got kind of like a downward movement. But OTC, okay, there we go, Ben. Okay, I really like how you show your losses too. A lot of videos I've seen only show wins. Yeah, man, as I mentioned, you know what, when you, let me put you on the big screen for now. Ben, here's the thing. It's impossible. It's impossible. See, when people say strategy, I hate that word. Just because it shows something that's repetitive, right? That does very similar thing. And it's not something that always works. Usually that is the case. Hey, then there's a crossing, they usually will go down, or, when there's a crossing, it usually will go up. But it doesn't always happen. And if you believe that consistency is only about great, it's improper math. It's improper calculation. I can even further go here, Ben, check it out. If you go to social trading, you can actually copy other traders if you wish. I don't, advise this to any of my clients, any of my VIPs that go and, study trading with me personally. But look, you can, and look, you can see 13 trades, 54%, profitable trades, 54%. And he's like 4K in profit, which actually this means that, out of 13 trades, I think he's like 7 in the money. And he had to have been taking very, very big positions in order to be 4,800 in profit. All right, this one is, kind of maybe on the lucky side, I would say. 50-50. 50 statistic is actually good enough for you to make money long term, as long as you have proper money management, Ben. And so we got, there we go, 55%, so maybe throughout the whole day, still opening positions for a couple of dozens of dollars for this to kind of end up with proper money management, proper expectations to be around 4,000. But if you take a look, we even got, there we go. Look at the juggernaut over here, and I believe he's like a VIP elite or a VIP trader. 80 trades, 40%, right? So this is like 35 trades out of 80. This person is in the money. And he's still 3,200. So it's not about a high percentage success rate. We can't guarantee that. but you don't need it. You don't need it to make money long term. You just need to proper apply your finances, proper apply your money management. So there we go. 51, 56. All right, let's see. We got 40, wait, 49, 54, 54, 58, right? So 50s are still great for you to make money, long term on a daily basis. And what I'm showing you guys in this and in the previous videos is exactly that. I can't, say that, hey, right there, this is a 1-point contact, 2-point contact. We got like a 3rd-point contact right here, kind of like a false breakout. That means that definitely when it touches this and breaks through this level, that it should go down. There's a higher probability of this happening, but it's not guaranteed. All right, Ben is writing right now. Paper trading in hopes to build confidence and then invest real money. See, actually, Ben, really cool thing about this, we got tournaments. Right here, if my internet is going to become a little bit better and loads up, but you actually, if you click on the pocket option link below, and make like, I don't know, like 20, 30, 40, I don't know, $50 deposit, whatever, and don't trade that, don't spend it, but you'll get access to tournaments. And in tournament, there's a daily tournament that goes on every single day, Monday through Sunday. You're able to participate in it for free. So if they give you $100 balance, and you essentially have to trade and try to get that money up to the point where you're on the top 3 winning list. If you get there, the 3rd spot gets $50, the 2nd spot gets $75, the 1st spot gets $125. So in this case, you got, and actually I've done one of the videos in the past to show you how to win tournaments. You actually don't even need to know strategy. You can do it with AI, right? I did show this in the past videos, but if you contact me later or in Telegram channel later, you and I are able to actually go through this one more time. I can show you specifically and explain to you how to win a tournament with a proper application of logic, math, and statistics. So you are able to, if out of 30 days, you've got 30 free tries every single day. If you lose, 20 of them, but win 10, even at the 3rd spot, if you win 3rd place 10 times, you're looking at $500, which I think is actually quite, quite nice, minimal. All right, so look, actually, Ben, look, we actually do have support level that's being confirmed a couple of times. We got 1, we got 2. We could actually move that up just a little bit. 3. And we got maybe like a 4th point. We're stretching the truth a little bit here, a 4th point contact. But look, we got a bunch of red ones coming down a little bit lower and lower. So I do believe that this upward trend could be coming to an end very soon. Yeah, we're going to stick with Euro CHF for a little bit longer. Yeah, I mean, I can, kind of hang back a little bit more. Ben, if you got any, maybe, additional questions, do ask. But I do encourage you to maybe touch base with us in our Telegram channel after the fact. Once again, my friends, there's never any kind of negative feelings. There's never any kind of pressure for you to do anything. I've been doing this for a very, very long time. I started, looking at leveraged instruments when I was in 2012. And I worked for 2 international brokers. I've talked to tens of thousands of clients. And so throughout all of this experience, I've realized that I absolutely love trading. I absolutely love binaries, just because as a side income, it gives me massive opportunities. And I don't need to be with like 80, 90% success rate to actually make money. 50% is good enough already. And I'm willing to kind of show this every single day, weekday. I do a stream, unless there's technical, some sort of difficulties, or I don't know, if I'm just spending time with my kids, that maybe we do something special. But tomorrow at 15:30 GMT plus 3 time, there's going to be ADP non-farm. as I mentioned in the beginning of this video. And I'll show you that right down to the second, there is a higher likelihood. And there we go. We got, did I win my last trade? Yes, I did. So let's go back to $5. Because it looks like it could be, yeah, it looks like we could be looking at a sell position right now. There we go. There we go. And let's sell this. All right, so there we go. Even if this one doesn't go in the money, the next one will. It's just a higher probability. Yeah, Ben, yeah, actually, you know what, Ben, I just forgot as well. You don't even need to deposit to be able to start trading. The chart, that you see right here is identical whether it's in a real account or in a demo account. So if you want to test the things that I discuss with all of you guys, with completely zero risk environment, you're certainly welcome to do that with a demo account. Or if you make a first deposit, you actually get access to the tournaments, which is also kind of nice. And as I mentioned, exactly what I mentioned is still valid. You get zero risk. You're not putting your money at risk at all, but you do have the benefit of winning real money, real cash. And as I mentioned, looking forward to hearing from you in our Telegram channel that's below. And we'll clarify any other questions, comments, or concerns. And as I mentioned, to Ben or to anybody who might come across this video after, there's never any pressure. There's never any feelings of obligation for you to do something. I'm here because I love this. I love clarifying this, right? This is something that I've been doing for such a long time, and I'm good at it. So ask your questions, reach out. There's never going to be any bad emotions. All right, so I think that on this one we're going to finish. Actually, well, we could essentially kind of ride this train for a few more minutes, right? Let's see. I think that, yeah, we're in the money, right, Ben? So look, I lost $5, but I won $9.20, right? 100% of this position I lost, but I won 92%. There it is, of my $10 investment, which means I've made profit $9.20, which means that I'm still $4.20 in profit. Lost 15 here, but I've won 27, right? So essentially, what, 15 to 27, $12 and whatever, 60 cents in profit. Same thing here, 5, 10, 30, right? 10, 20. So you can see once again, this is where, just like I showed you in social trading, you're not really, required to have 80, 90% success rate for this to be lucrative, for this to be profitable. You're quite capable of doing this at a lower percentage of success as long as there's proper money management. Now, today we actually did very aggressive money management with martingale multiplier of 2, but you could actually multiply, lower the risk significantly by multiplying, like with the 1.5 instead of 2 or 1.3. It still ends up making money. Well, Ben, you know what? Once again, this comes a little bit with experience. It comes a little bit with experience. So here, I'll tell you. Let me put you back on the big screen because we're done trading for today. MACD when it crosses the 0 line, and when the signal line crosses the MACD line, we got signals to buy and sell. I think I've proven to you guys this today. So actually, Ben asked a very interesting kind of question, rather kind of my opinion about trading. Negative trading cannot be a surprise. All right, Ben, imagine if you're walking down the street, you're window shopping, and I jump out from behind the corner and I yell at you. You'll probably punch me in the face really quickly without even thinking about it, because it's a surprise. Right? So if though somebody says, hey Ben, Morpheus is about to be stupid, is gonna try to scare you, and then I jump out and yell, it's still not gonna be pleasant. But our friendship will not be tested by me having a black eye. So negative trading cannot be a surprise. you should expect it, and you should, kind of think about it ahead of time, so it's part of this. You cannot avoid this. This isn't about glass half full all the time. You have to be aware that some, negative trading is unavoidable. And when it becomes part of your plan, it's significantly easier to stick to a plan. Now, I've shown you today, you can click on, as I mentioned, click on pocket option link below with no obligation or anything like that. You can spend some time on the demo account. If you make a small deposit, whatever it is, tournaments become available without you have to spend it. It's not like you have to, waste $20 before tournaments become available. But during the first deposit, you get chats, which I don't really use, but tournaments, which I do use, and I do encourage. And where real money is really scary to trade with, especially when you start and if you work very hard for your money. Demo account, on the other hand, is very emotionless. There's no real emotions when you win because you didn't win anything, nor when you lose because you didn't really lose anything. But the tournaments are happy middle. You're not risking any of your money, but the real money that you would be getting if you win, it's actually real. So this is actually a perfect middle ground for you to build your confidence. And my advice right now during the stream for you, my friend, is to actually just accept that you don't need to be in 80-90% success rate to make money. You can make money significantly less, 50, 40, even 30s, as you saw today. You're able to still make money with proper money management, right? So this is something that you and I can go into greater detail at some point if you wish to kind of hit me up in Telegram. And my friends, I mean, right now I'm gonna go spend a little time with my kids. So I'm gonna bid you adieu until tomorrow. Tomorrow, approximately just a little bit sooner than today, by about an hour and a half. Ben, if you can, touch base again tomorrow. GMT plus 3 time. That's where I live right now in this time zone. GMT plus 3 time. At 3:30, we're going to take advantage of the ADP NFP, and because of 4th of July, kind of holidays, the NFP, which usually comes out on Friday, is going to be released on Thursday. So thanks so much for joining. Thanks so much for watching, whoever, might be watching this later, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.